So I want to do an unrolling of my giant junk roll and talk about some things that I'm planning on doing. And who knows, if it doesn't take 3 days, maybe we'll work on it a little bit together. So my junk roll is so fat that I cannot clip it into the middle. I have to clip it out here, a few layers in. So the middle is kind of, you know, floppy. I've tried to keep it pretty, you know, standard paper size, which is can be kind of tricky. And another thing we are going to do is measure as we go. I have been die cutting, so my die cutting machine is out here and it's going to get in the way of my unrolling. So I'm going to keep a notepad over here and tick off, make a tick mark for every 2 feet of this roll. Okay, so I got this here is 2 feet, and I'm just gonna, let's see, where did I end? I have to pay attention to that, I guess. So right about here, I'm just gonna roll it up. Now a lot of this stuff is scraps, you know, like this was from my printer, and I hate wasting an entire sheet of paper. So junk roll. I hate wasting paper, period. It's not really what I am all about. Now this is going to be like roughly, and then this, you know, that's from a game. I had received the pieces. I think I got it at a thrift store, and it was missing stuff. And so into my stash it went. I'm gonna try and get a better roll on it here. One side, the back side of this, I haven't done a whole lot of, you know, touching up. What I plan for this is to, I might use this as a base for things that I will glue on, you know, like collage on. Oh, I can't even read my writing. Alright, I'm on 6 feet so far. So, yeah, I might use this as a base and then collage over it with whatever. Or I might cut this up into pages, I might turn it into cards by gluing it to file folders, which is what I like to do stuff like that. I like to use those file folders for that. They make a very nice base for any kind of a journaling card or anything. So 8 feet so far. I have schoolwork. These were things I printed out that came off wrong, so you know, I could just throw it in here. I'm trying now, more than I was before, to include blank paper and blank pieces. And I was watching Stephanie G on her junk roll, and she was using blank, you know, a lot of lined paper and blank paper that wasn't all covered in stuff. So I was like, huh, well then, that is something to think about. So, I have some pieces of book pages and old flyers. If you're going to glue any kind of newspaper material in it, I suggest it be a little bit thicker. I have some old cookbook pages that we will get to that are very brittle, and I'm kind of regretting using them now because they're very brittle, and you'll see why. They get all, you know, like if it's up at the top of the page, they're kind of all torn up and stuff. But see, this came from that same project that I screwed up. It was something, we were making a float for Girl Scouts for the parade they have here. But a lot of what I'm using is very heavy quality paper. You know, this came from a seed catalog. This came from a book. Actually, it's an interior decorating book, and it had those pages to make your own design of your own layout, which I was like, huh, I'm not going to do anything in my house, but I will gladly keep this page. And this is a book. I used a book cover right here, Tolstoy. I read the book, and then I saved the book because the pages were so nice and old, and I've used all those pages in projects, so in collage stuff. So yeah, this is one of those recipe pages here, and don't put things all the same direction. Like I'm backwards here, I'm sideways the other way. Make sure you're really giving it a good mix up so that it's user-friendly no matter how you end up using it, okay? And that it looks like it's supposed to be, you know, all wonkerific. Alright, so this here came from it's an envelope flap. This is some more of that neonish paper. This came from a credit card application. That design paper. This is a order form for a restaurant in a few towns over. I don't recommend anybody eat there unless you need a cleanse of your colon. And just thought I'd let you know that we are at 20 feet. And I went through on this side. For the most part, I don't think I did the whole thing, like, you know, towards the beginning of what you just saw. I don't think I've gone through that yet, but I've gone through and kind of fixed corners, gone over pieces, you know, added if I thought something had too much, you know, schoolwork paper or too much, like flyer catalog paper. I would go through and just put a little piece of something down to break it up. I got this idea originally from Bonnie and Clive. I'll link my original junk roll video so that you can see where I started from, and then her video will be in, or I tagged her, I think, in that video, and you can see what she did. But she went through and put pieces of book page and stuff down, you know, just small pieces, like a small piece here and a small piece, like she said, corners, you know, touching and stuff where it looks like too many things have broken off in one place. I just put something there to look like it's supposed to be that way. But this roll is huge, and I cannot wait to work, you know, use it. I can't wait for the day to come to say, oh, I could use the junk roll for that. You know, I mean, I've already been thinking about using it as collage base. I've already been thinking about that, and I'm, you know, I will need to work on some collages, because I include little collage cards in my Etsy packages. So this is 30 feet, by the way. I am at 30 feet. Okay. So what I might do is I might take you on an adventure of fixing up the back side of it and repairing any corners and stuff, you know. We might work on that today, because it really only takes a minute to go through and fix up edges. And nope, I'm coming to the end here. I am coming to the tube. But yeah, that cookbook, I'm gonna have to cover that up when I get to using it, you know. for whatever I'm going to end up using it for, I will have to really reinforce that I'll have to really reinforce that cookbook paper. Alright, so I am at the beginning, because the progressive girl is at the beginning. So, I was pretty close. The other day, we were talking about the junk roll in a live stream chat, and I said 35 feet, and I am at 36 feet of roll. 36. Yep. 36 feet of junk roll. So, we're going to have to roll this all back on here. So what I think I might do is we'll do some repairing to the back, the underside. And let me grab my paper. So I was going to grab like some nice book pages and stuff, but then I said, whoa, this is a junk roll. It has got to be junk. So, I mean, I guess later on when you are going to go to use it in a project, do whatever to it. But during this process, it is all about using up the junk. So, this comes from our registry of motor vehicles. This is what they send your renewals in, with this amazing envelope design. And I try every single time to keep this and not have to give it up. Like when they give you the envelope to return, I try and do it online instead. That's how serious I am about this really cool blue splatter. Okay, so I'm going to go and cut up a few things. I have been holding on to all of my windows. I don't know why. I mean, I see cool things done with windows, and I'm like, oh, you know, save all my windows. Is it going to matter? Look, even this one is grayscale. Is it going to really matter? Probably not. Am I going to use those windows? Maybe like 2. I mean, I really don't know. But I just see so many people make such gorgeous things with those windows. And I like how they're all crinkly. I like this. So, I got to do something. I have got to do something with them. Now, I am cutting this, and I am not using the flaps, okay? The flaps are going. I am not flapping. I am not feeling flappalicious. You know, they're just boring anyway. So, the flaps are going to be trash. Ooh, I need some chapstick. Sorry for my long, huge arm right in your face. This here came from a furniture company nearby. Their winter clearance event. I don't usually get these big things, but it is really nice and thick. So I'm going to fold it in half. Even if I don't use this on the back of my rolly roll, I will at least have it to use in future rolling projects. Now, I am debating on if I should just start a new roll or if I should keep rolling this one, because I mean, this thing is serious. Ooh, I have this book. I have tried my hardest to sell this damn book for 150 years. This page I'm keeping for other things though. I'm sorry, my bird, Mr. Tweets. That's what I call him. He doesn't like us, but apparently he likes to yell. So I'm going to rip out some of these pages because these are a nice size that if I want to just cover something up, this is a nice size. I tried selling this for like 100 years. I even tried selling it for $1 and nobody bought it. So I put it in my pile to go, and then the junk roll project started. And when I was getting ready to bring my box of stuff to the Goodwill, I saw it and I was like, you know what? That is gonna junk roll. So I am just gonna rip it up. I mean, look at how weird looking the people are. Love weird. Love it. I have not made videos in the last few weeks. Well, maybe since like just after Christmas. I ended up with at Christmas with some kind of sinus pain, sinus headache, like stuffed up, really bad headache. And then I wasn't stuffed up and I still just had the headache, and I had nothing. There was not a single thing I could do to get rid of that headache. That sinus pressure was horrendous. Oh, it was awful. My head hurts just thinking about it. So that took a lot out of me. I didn't think it was going to take that much. I didn't think it was going to take that much out of me. And it did. So when just after the new year was my annual physical with my primary care doctor. And she did a blood work, she drew blood work and all that stuff. And I found out that I'm very low in iron. So, which is not common. Not very common for me. I donate blood every 4 months, and I've never had a problem when I was donating blood. And I found out like some of my, it just wasn't good. The blood work just didn't come back good. So I've been changing some things with my diet, and the iron thing really took a lot out of me these last few weeks. So I am going to try to get some more videos made. Oh, plus, we're working on my studio. Yesterday was the beginning of the insulation. So I got maybe a third of the building overall insulated. So we still have a long way to go. My husband has been wiring in there for me. So the outlets are like 99% done, and then we have lights and things to do up in the ceiling, but it's getting there. So we did that this week, and it really just kicked my butt. Honestly, today is the first day that I was able to wake up. All this last week, I have been going back to sleep in the mornings, and I've been going back to sleep in the mornings. I'm going to put this one upside down. And then staying asleep until, 8:30, 9 o'clock, which isn't like me. I haven't been that way since I was on a medication that, made me really tired and stuff. So that's how I've been feeling all this week. And today was the first day that I actually woke up, nice and early time. Really felt normal and was able to get caught up on some of my Etsy listings. And I've been, one of the reasons I haven't been recording too is because I've been die cutting. And die cutting is like, I don't know, who wants to watch me, crank paper through a die cutting machine? But I've been using, I bought, for Christmas time, I will typically go and buy myself dies. I don't tend to buy them much during the year, unless I get them at a live sale or somewhere, for a really good price. But I will typically buy new dies anyway, brand new, Sizzix and Tim Holtz dies. I will typically get that for myself for Christmas. So I bought a whole bunch of dies from Amazon. I'm going to clip this because I don't want it to unravel. From Amazon and from a new Chinese goods app called Temu. I don't know if you've heard of Temu. I purchased from them, and so far I like it. I haven't actually used all this stuff, but I used to get a bunch of dies and stickers and things from AliExpress, and the Temu dies they're a lot more, not all of them, but a lot of them are, the packaging is a lot more professional. I'll show you one, because I haven't done this one yet. So yeah, the packaging is like really neat looking. And then if I wanted to, I could keep it in the package. So this is one of the dies that I got from them on the Temu app. So, you know, it's got a company here, CocorosaStudio.com. And I've been using, I did go a couple of months ago to Hobby Lobby, and I bought some dies. I only buy dies there when they're like 60% off, and it's got to be something I'm going to use. And so what they had were some of the Tim Holtz Plants dies. I will show them to you here in a minute. So I bought them, now it's been like, you know, a couple of months since the last time I was at Hobby Lobby. So I bought these dies while I was there. They look like this. Okay, fair enough. They're nice, right? Well, you can't cut them. They don't cut. You can't cut them. They won't cut through the paper, which really, really aggravated me. It made me so mad because you spend all of this money on these dies and they don't cut through. Okay, so I tried everything. I made a little shim out of the cover of a scrapbook paper pad. I used the cover. I made a shim to go underneath my plate. I tried everything. I tried doubling up my paper. I tried tripling my paper, and it just wouldn't go through. So I go online to see if this is an issue, and it is. It's a problem that people have, and there is a thing you can buy. It is a platform piece that oh yeah, I can get to it. Hold on, let me just glue this down. I'll show you. I will show you because I am so aggravated. Oh, I'm so aggravated. So it's a $30 item that you have to buy to use these dies. And I'm sure that like a lot of you seasoned die cutters are like, oh yeah, you know, I got 5 of them, but I had never had this problem. I never knew this. This thing here. All right, it is a precision base plate, okay, for Thinlits dies. So what it means is you put it with you only use one of your clear plates. You don't use both of them. You just use the top plate. So you put that in, you put your dies on top of that, and then you put your top plate on top of your, you know, your thick book thingy. And that is, you know, it's supposed to help you with the intricate dies. Now I have intricate dies too that I don't use anymore because I thought it was the die that was giving me crap, but it's not. It's the whole system. It's the whole system. So this thing, it worked. It worked beautifully. As a matter of fact, it was a wonderful outcome with the die cuts. I have them in a basket here. I tend to die cut things in bulk. Again, another reason why you haven't seen me, because I'm getting a bunch of die cutting done so that I could put the die cutting machine away and not have to do it anymore. So this is what I did. I made some labels here, and then I made a bunch of plants in all different paper texture and all different shades of greens, and some were a little purple and pink and stuff. So I did that with my new $30 plate that I just feel like is such a rip-off. Oh my goodness, do I feel ripped off by that? Because you spend so much money on the dies. You know, if I paid full price for those dies, they were $24 bucks a set. Okay, and those have 6 dies, 5 or 6 dies in them. Okay, so you're paying that much. You're paying that kind of money for 5 or 6 dies. Okay, keep that in mind. I don't, this whole thing right here is like too busy for me, so yeah, I was not impressed with that revelation, you know, and especially it being a Tim Holtz and a Sizzix product. This will be the second time now that I've had an issue with a Sizzix dies. The first one was, I had bought a set of dies that were like headers, you know, fancy looking pieces that, you know, they're almost like label shaped, you know, but they're fancy looking. So they're kind of, you know, they're like fancy label looking dies, like sort of like these, but they're all scallopy looking and stuff. So I used that a whole bunch of times, you know, not a ton. I used it, you know, for a dozen or so sheets of paper. And then the die started, the metal of the die started to shave off the die. I was getting metal bits stuck in my top plate, and I couldn't understand. I was like, why are there metal pieces? I thought the inside of the machine, which, you know, why would the inside of the machine put metal pieces on the other side of the plate? It must have been magic. But I was, you know, brain dead, so I was like, oh, it must be the inside of the machine. So I looked in it, which, no, you know, there's nothing wrong in there. And come to find out, then I looked at the dies, and one of the stinking dies had some shavings on the, you know, stuck to the blade of the die. I just could not believe it. I haven't used them since. I can still use them. I shouldn't say I haven't used them since. I used them a few more times after that discovery, but it's been about a year and a half, maybe 2 years since I've used that. Since I used that die. So I honestly don't know how long it's gonna last, and that really upsets me, because again, $23, $24 for a set of dies, and that's, so, you know, that's kind of, I don't know, just shady, just a slimy ordeal, you know. Let's go maybe this way with this. But yeah, what are you gonna do? You know, it's the way of the world now. Everything is made like garbage. So to be really controversial here and to really upset everybody, you might as well just buy the cheap dies. I ain't kidding, because the name brand ones really aren't any better. The only things that I can say are close to being worth it are the Bigs dies, and those are only worth it if the foam doesn't give up in the die, which I'll show you what I mean. We'll have a lesson here on the Bigs dies. The foam. This die right here is a Bigs die, and it is of circles, and there is a blade in here, and when you do the paper, it pushes into the foam so that it can do more sheets of paper at a time. Well, I have floral dies that are in Bigs that the foam has given up, so certain parts of the floral die won't cut now because it's jammed way into the petal of the flower. So yeah, in other words, none of them are really worth the money. So go with your heart, okay? Follow your heart on your die investments, because there's really no telling the quality that you're going to get. And I completely understand that there are artists who are getting ripped off on their dies every day through these Chinese websites and apps and stuff. And I'm sorry, but until companies can be more reputable and, you know, be worth what they are trying to sell these things for, I'm not going to invest. I'm not going to invest unless it's something I got my heart set on. And there's a few Timmy dies that I have my heart set on, and I'm not going to lie, I'm going to go look on those apps and see if I can find one. See if I can find what I'm looking for cheaper. Because so far I've been able to find most of them, except for Bigs dies. They're not as readily available as, you know, I don't think that any other company makes them except Sizzix. So, but the thin dies, the wafer dies they call them, just follow your heart. Just If it's right for you to buy just Sizzix and Spellbinders and whatever that other one is there, then go for it, you know. But if you're like me and you're just fed up with spending the money for the quality and not getting it, so I'll get off my soapbox now, because it's not who I am to just sit here and complain. I don't like to do that. So my daughter made Student of the Month. She come home with a little certificate on Monday, and obviously, you know, we were very happy, we were ecstatic for her, because she does work hard in school. And, you know, we do stay on her pretty hard about, you know, we tell her to put her blinders on and focus on her work, not, you know, not worry about what everybody else is doing. And it's taken a while, but she has grasped that concept, and I don't hear many complaints about her being too bossy or talkative or anything. I don't hear any complaints this year about it, so I'm assuming that she's finally heeded the warning and started actually really focusing on herself. And I think that she's enjoying the challenge. You know, now that she is in 3rd grade, it's more challenging. And I think she's really enjoying that, because she does enjoy learning, and she gets so excited about things that they're working on and subjects that they're teaching. She gets really excited. So I think that she is going to do just fine. Now my youngest, she goes this coming year is her kindergarten, so I don't know what to expect from this one. She's my Spitfire. You know, she's my second child. That's what they say about the second child. That is what they say. And she is that total stereotypical second child. But she has a lot of love in her heart too, so I don't think she's gonna be a bad person. I just think she'll probably need a little bit of guidance on the way, which I guess we all do in our own way. But why is the junk? Like, there is so much. Look at this strip of paper. Where can I put this strip right here? Right? I've had this neon paper. I'll bet you I have had this neon paper for, oh, how old am I? I bet you I've had it for 20 years, this neon stuff. It has moved with me. It has been with me through thick and thin, and I hate it. Oh, I'm so sick of it. I hate it. I hate it. I bought it at Walmart. Believe it or not, I bought it at Walmart when Walmart used to put things on sale, like actually have sales. I bought it then at a sale at Walmart. They had it on sale. It was an Astro Brights neon package of paper. And I don't know why I bought it, because I haven't used it until now. I do use it for die cutting and stuff. And this is all torn. I'm not going to keep that. There was a period of time that I was using it. So I was naive in high school, and I thought that I could save the world. So I went and made... I'm sorry, I was out of high school. I was in college. I went and made books that I created myself, and I printed them off on my little printer that I had for school, and I went to festivals and fairs and handed these booklets out to people on how to make our world a better place, which included recycling tips and kindness and all kinds of things that I could possibly think of to put in this little booklet. And me and my best friend, she went her way and I went mine, would go to different places and hand them out. I don't know how far they made it. People probably thought I was, you know, selling my religion or whatever, but I wasn't, and I did it for, you know, a whole summer, and I think I handed a few out in fall, and then my printer quit, so I stopped doing that, but I used the neon paper for those booklets, and I still had, because I bought a whole ream of paper. My booklets took like 5 pages, so, you know, I had a ton. I had a ton of neon, and I still do, as you can see. And I honestly think I might have collected even more in bundles of paper that I have gotten. You know, I tend to buy the bulk packs of them, of different paper, so I'm sure I've gotten more since then. So, yeah, I'm just never gonna get out of the neon. I'm trying to find something different to work with here. Piece of cardstock, what? I guess we'll put, no, I'm not gonna put any more neon. This is a nail. But, yeah. Neon taking over my life. Taking over my life. I'm gonna put this up at the top, I think. And like I said, I know I still have more paper and more neon. Not a ton though. When I look up at my 8.5 by 11 stash, it's not a ton. So this thing that I did for the Girl Scout float that used up all these scraps, that used a lot of neon paper because I had to keep fixing and reprinting my banner papers. I made a banner. So I've gotten good at making banners out of triangles. You know, triangular banners. What I mean is like the little triangles, like you see at car dealerships. Except out of paper, not out of sparkly, shiny things. But yeah, that was my neon story. I'll put some more neon right here. How about, oh, this blue. Oh, another thing too, when I was in high school, I was in, I took a trade, and the trade that I took was graphic design, and half of the school year, you designed, you know, you designed things, layouts, and you worked with graphics design programs, and we did things for businesses, and we did things for the school, and we designed everything. I designed my yearbook for my school. Me and my best friend designed it. So, but the other half of the school year, you ran a printing press, and I ran a printing press. There was a point in time that I got up to running one of the higher end presses that required a lot of attention and a lot of fine-tuning to get the good result. It was a 4-color press. It was a CMYK press. And we got a lot of paper. So this blue paper, that comes from the school. I still have tons of notepads that I got that we made at the, you know, in my shop. And I still have tons of the notepads from my school that I made and I printed and I designed. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to think that I held some kind of a legacy there for some period of time. You know, I don't know if they still have any of the things that me and my friend did. Her and I don't talk anymore, so I couldn't ask her because she would know. Her sister works at the school. But we started a lot of things there. We started a lot of programs, and we worked on a lot of things together. So I had fun in high school, and I did the best I could at being a good person. I didn't do the best I could at my schoolwork. Kind of sucked at that. But I had fun. We sure did. We sure had fun. So yeah, people, you kids that are in school that can't wait to get out, I'm going to tell you right now, once you do, you can't wait, you wish you could go back, because it's a lot easier. Although I enjoy, you know, being a mom and watching my kids do the same things that I did in school, you know. Oh, I can use that because I kind of like both sides. Oh boy, let's see. This, I'm gonna do this, huh? Let's see. Let's do it here, maybe? Down here. No. Up here. Up here. Yeah, we'll do that. This is some of my oil stained paper. I made homemade sprays, and I sprayed them on all kinds of paper. I dye a lot of paper with homemade spray, believe it or not. I actually use it a lot more than I use tubs of dye or tea. I will be more likely to spray it on. And my spray bottles were getting low to the point where I couldn't really spray much out of them, so I took them out. I took the little sprayer nozzle out, and I go this way maybe? Yeah, let's go this way. And I poured them onto a whole bunch of paper. Just lined up a whole bunch of paper, dumped a whole bunch of spray ink on it. And this was the result. So I call it my oil stained paper. It looks oil stained to me. I still have some of that. I've hoarded it. This one was one that was kind of screwy. You know, it was ripped. So yeah, I didn't. This is one of those cookbook pages. I'll probably use that someplace. It is I'm very glad to see that most of my edges stayed pretty glued on this side, because like I said, I didn't go through this one, because when I did the other side, a lot of the edges were in desperate need of touching up with the little bit of glue. I'm getting to the point where my clip don't want to go around the whole thing. So that's why I'm debating on starting a new one, you know, so that I don't want to ruin this by clipping and unclipping and clipping and unclipping. And we're almost done with a roll of paper towels in our house, so I'll have a roll. You know, it's like you gotta make the choice. Do I want it now, when I have a roll available to me? Oh, yeah. So I might start another one, and I might start collaging. Maybe we'll start collaging on this one. Now, when I say collaging, it means that I am going to just take stuff from a different junk box and use it. Instead of junk mail, I'm going to use my book pages. My junk book pages and my scrap paper. That's what I mean by that. Push this back. Now, one hard thing is to keep it all the same size. Mine has kind of grown and narrowed in places, you know, page-wise. So I do use my mat, and when I'm gluing it on, I do line it up to the bottom, and then I line it up here to the top so that it's kind of uniform. It's not, you know, it's not uniform throughout the whole thing. So just know that it's not going to be perfect. You're not going to get it to be. It is a junk roll, okay? It is covered in junk. You can perfect it when you use it in a project. You can cut it up and make it something better. But don't fret about keeping it, you know, keep it somewhat uniform so that you don't get right out of control. And don't worry about the rest, you know. So, at least I'm getting it nice and tightly rolled, though. This is nice. The junk mail thing, though, is hard, because I kind of didn't want my address plastered all over in these credit card applications. So, you know, and that's the thing. It's like, that's what most of our junk mail is here in the U.S. Like, Bonnie was showing her junk mail, which is, like, super cool junk mail. Ours, not as cool. Not as cool. I'm going to push my... See, like, right here, I grew a little bit, so I can't really get to my core. Get to my core piece.
What was in there? Was there a pink one or something?
Let's see.
Well, that's because this Windex is a little straight bottom. I'll try it.
Let's see if I can. I kind of like the seal face. We don't really use him. We'll put him straight down here. We don't really use a lot of like animal pictures and stuff. And you know, you can use painty paper. I know that Bonnie and Stephanie both used painty paper pieces, and I just don't have any in this box right here. So, but I do have scraps of it, you know, scattered. I'm gonna put that here, and then I might put something here, something maybe yellow.
I don't know, what do you got? Bring that purple one, that's a recent.
I go through a few hundred National Geographic magazines at a time. I had been throwing out all the paper from it until recently. I started using it for this, where I can glue it in here, but then I also started packaging my National Geographic pages differently. I was storing them in packs of 50 with binder clips on them, but the binder clips, they lose their spring after a while, so my packets weren't staying together, and then I was having to recount things, and it wasn't going so well. So I started taking pages and the covers of the magazine and using those as like a folder, and if I ran out of covers, which I did one time, I just took individual pages and I folded them in half around the packet, so it held it together, and it's going pretty good that way. So I'm just gonna stick to that now, and I'm not throwing paper away. I am using it all up, right? Use it if you got it, and I used it. I never ever thought of that. So I do have a whole bunch of, I'm not going to do anything right here or right here. We'll come to this part where it looks like it needs a little help. I never thought of doing that before, so I wish I had thought of it. I didn't think of it until just this last go around of magazine harvests, but I have a whole bunch of the covers that are torn, that I tore the front and back cover, because I've been able to keep the front and back cover together in my recent harvesting, but in the past, before I did this, I just tore them. So I'm going to just use one cover, I guess, folded to, I'll just use one cover folded up. That's all I can do. Fold it over the pages. So it'll be what it is. But yeah, pretty happy that now I can, I don't have to worry about trying to grab, you know, a couple packets to sell and having binder clips fall off and then loose pages everywhere. Be kind of a pain. I am so glad to be feeling better today, I'll tell you. It has been rough sledding. You know, it's just hard when you feel tired, and when you feel like, and it's even harder when you know you shouldn't be feeling tired, but you do. I just hate that. I just hate feeling, feeling run down. I don't want to be I don't want to feel run down. Let's see, I kind of want to trim this so it's not all, I love torn edges, but in some places it just does not belong. This, I think, came from an almanac, or no, I'm sorry. This came from a 1960s gardening magazine. It was a small magazine, and it was all black and white, and I tried selling them, and this was another thing, it just didn't sell, so I was either going to throw it away or use it, because it's not really something I could have donated. So I used it, and here I am, gluing it. It made it into the junk box. I'm going to make a new composition book, too, for gluing and for my gluing and arting pleasure. I don't know when we're going to do that. And I have a couple of glue books to work on. While I was feeling like crap, I did get some stuff done. I did get some fussy cutting done. A lot of it. So you're going to see, I'm going to use a lot of it in some of my upcoming glue books. But I'm going to do some more fussy cutting, and you will see fussy cut images showing up in my Etsy store here. Not too long. I've had a few people ask me about my fussy cut image packs, and I just haven't been able to put any together. And while I don't have a shortage of fussy cut images, I don't want to run out. Okay, I do a lot of gluing. I don't want to run out of fussy cut images, so I kind of keep my hoard at a certain level, and then I'll get some excess to list in my shop, which is what I'm cutting up right now. I'm cutting up some excess. Look at that. This was I cleaned my jelly plate off with this, so you almost can't tell, but then you can tell. Cool. So tear this one in half. So yeah, be on the lookout for that if you're into the fussy cut images. And if you buy fussy cut images from me, or if you use fussy cut images, what do you tend to go for? What are the images that you that you find yourself using the most of? You know, is it animals? Is it furniture? Is it people? I just want to know. I'm just curious. I use all of those things. I use all of those things. I use buildings. I use plants. I use, you know, skies. I use oceans, all kinds of fishies. I use all kinds of animals. You name it. If it's got a good pattern or a weird looking face, or I'll use it. I love it. I love all the pictures. I love all the images. If I can cut it out, I'm going to use it. And I have some magazines that I had gotten when I went to Cape Cod, which, if you know New England, and if you've been to New England, then I'm sure that you've been to Provincetown in Cape Cod, which is very, it is a gay community. It's always been a sanctuary, even in the 60s and 70s, like when my dad was out there all the time. It was a sanctuary place for gay people, and I grew up with that. I grew up in it. It's been a part of my life. I know that it has not been a part of a lot of people's lives, but it's no different to me. You know, I've seen it my whole life on the Cape. So I have magazines from Provincetown that they give for free. I wish I grabbed more than one, because Shannon Green's got me all pumped up with her scout guides. I haven't found any in my area. But I could have done that. I could have done what she does with these magazines, because the pages are really thick. I am so excited to harvest them. I got them last summer. I put them away and forgot about them until the other day when I was cleaning out my basket. And there they were, the magazines. So, yeah, the images in there are terrific because they're different. It's a different culture. They have cabaret. They have a lot of men dressed in drag, which, if you decide to call it transgender or however you call it these days, but down there they still call them drag shows. They're drag. So I have a lot of drag queens in there. But yeah, it is a hoot, the images. And can you believe it? I just completely missed where this goes to glue. So we're gonna have to put something there. Let's get a little strip, glue strip. Yep, we're going to put the blues. We're going to have to put the blue strip there. Just how it's going to have to go. But yeah, I am excited to cut those and use those. I had, you know, when I lived in Massachusetts, I'd get those magazines. I'd be down at the Cape a few times a year, so I'd get them a lot, and I'd cut those people out a lot and use them. But I only go there now once a year, so I have to, you know, plan accordingly for my paper good grabs. You know, I have to plan. And I mean, I could have my family grab them too, but you know, they just don't get it. If you're not a gluer, you just don't get it. You just don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all you people who want to get it, but you can't unless you glue. Shannon Green also announced that she is doing a residency, like a residency at her local library, which I think is so cool. And it has kind of inspired, it has kind of lit the fire again for me to go to my own local library and talk to them about doing art classes like we do. Just because you can do it for little to no money at all. I mean, what do you spend the most of your money on when you're glue booking? On glue? Because that's me. I spend most of it on glue. The other things that I buy for it are things that I'm using for something else, or old books. You know, how much do you spend on how much would you spend on an old book? You know, 50 cents maybe? Or use your own books, you know, use your own planners. I have a planner I'm going to turn into a glue book. You know, composition book, 50 cents at Walmart during their back to school stuff. And you can get better quality ones for $1 at Dollar General, $1.25 at Dollar Tree. How much are you spending, really? Nothing. So I think that it could be beneficial in my area to teach kids that you can create stuff out of nothing and have fun at it and really, you know, really express that creativity and really, you know, fill that desire for, you know, to create by using junk. And I understand it's not for everybody, but I think that it's for a lot more artists than it is not. I think a lot more artists would enjoy spending less money on the things they use. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you really enjoy spending $90 on a pan of paint, but I don't. No way, Jose, I do not. I want to put something here. What am I looking for? Maybe one of these shorty little strips. But yeah, it has kind of renewed my interest, and I haven't gone to my library, and I should, but I'm afraid, is what it boils down to. I'm afraid that they're going to look at me like I'm crazy. I don't have a lot of created art like Shannon does to show anyone, really. I mean, I have glue books and junk-filled composition books. I don't think I could bring those in and say, look at my art. You know, I don't really have collections of art. I have my junk collages that I've made out of objects, you know, put into a shadow box or some kind of a substrate, but I could bring those. But if I'm trying to do paper stuff, that's not going to help me. So, yeah, I'm just having a hard time, I guess, working up the gall. And I could get involved in an art center, like we have a couple of local art centers, art committees and stuff, but a problem with that is that you're at the mercy of the committee, so you kind of have to do what they recommend. You know, you have to, and I'm not big on organizing events and things, you know. I did that for a while, and I don't like to do it. I don't like to, so, you know, I have to weigh my battles, I guess. Look at that writing. That is, like, really nice. Must be a poem. Must be from poetry. We're gonna slap this whole page down right here. Do you guys want to go through the whole thing? Do you want to go to the end of this thing with me? Because I don't think we have that far to go. I mean, how much do I have left? I don't know. Maybe we'll just go. If you get sick of me, don't watch it anymore. But yeah, it was cool seeing Shannon Green and listening to her ideas about it, and you know, it really got me thinking about it again, and I'm sure I won't do anything again, and someday I will, though. Someday, when the time is right, I will work up the nerve to go to those places, and I will pitch my idea as something for the community and see what happens. I'm glad I did this too, because I can really get the roll nice and tight, but I think I'm going to have to start a new roll because I can't really clip this anymore, so it's not going to stay tight if I work on this further. Unless somebody can think of like industrial large clips that aren't binder clips, because binder clips can't really fit in the roll. I really need like strong clip. I don't know where to get them. So I'll just start a new roll and work with the clips I got. Let's see. Put that there. Sure, why not? Get rid of some of that glue though. We have no school tomorrow, which I'm excited about. Love a 3-day weekend because then I get to sleep. Which normally I wake up at 6:15, and tomorrow I'll sleep until 7. That's how it's gonna go. Nothing else will be different. I'll still have a ton of stuff to do. I tend to get all my laundry folded on Mondays. And, you know, get some stuff done in my building. I kind of took today off. It's Sunday. I don't really want to do things on Sundays. I like my Sundays. Sometimes we go out gallivanting. We might go out gallivanting shortly because I have to figure out what I'm going to do for lighting in my building. I was like planning on a ceiling fan with a light, and my husband's like, you know, you're going to want more light than just that and the lights on your desk. I'm like, you know what? You are probably right. I am probably going to need to light this bitch up. So, but I don't know what's out there. Like, I'm so interior designing challenged, you know. I have no idea what to look for. Like, I like the idea of like recessed lights or those lights on a track, you know, those are pretty. What else is out there? Can I put a chandelier? Should I put a chandelier in there? I don't know. I gotta figure something out though. And there's one thing I realized: lighting is not cheap. Holy crap, Among Us. Talk about expensive. Totally out of control in price for lighting. I don't know what to do. I'll get some lava lamps, which I am totally gonna have lava lamps in there. I'm excited to have little lamps because honestly, I'm excited to just be in darkness if I want. I have nice sheer curtains, so I've been contemplating, you know, using those to put in the I have 2 windows and then 2 doors that are also half windows. So I've been contemplating putting up my shears because I like them. I love shears. But I might put shades underneath those shears. I might, you know, I might put something that I can use to quickly darken my space. Because I don't know about you, but I don't like overhead lights a lot. I'm not into brightness. And sometimes I like just sitting at my desk at these lights. And the room is dark and just working on my stuff right here without lights all over, you know, beating all over the place. You know, I know I can't be the only person that's like that. And I know it's probably not healthy to do that. It's probably really bad for my eyeballs. It's probably why they get so tired. Why my eyes get tired. Speaking of eyes getting tired, I have also been slow stitching. You know, Janet Nash, she makes those hearts. And I started a heart. And it's going to take me a while. It's going to take me a while to do. Because I have to, you know, think about what I'm going to do next. And it's just hard for me to think. And at night, which is when I've been doing a lot of my stitching, some nights I just can't. Like, my eyes just get so tired. But I'm gonna make a few of those hearts. And she goes to a park and puts them on a tree. I might go down to the river down here and put them, you know, under, they have a big bridge, put them under the bridge someplace on the cement, you know. I don't know. I'll take you on the adventure with me when I go. We'll go on an adventure. You know, maybe I'll put some bookmarks. We'll abandon some stuff. I'm going to make some ATCs to send out, not to abandon anywhere. Nobody cares about ATCs in a park. But yeah, we'll abandon some bookmarks and maybe some little, we'll make some little toilet paper rolls or something. And, or I can even junk roll to make a cover, make some kind of little book cover. And we will go out and abandon some art. I like the mushrooms. I think that would be fun. Could put some hearts. I also have a bunch of little, I call them ornaments. They're circles. I have circles and I have hexagons, I think, that I've stitched a little bit on. I actually had somebody want to buy them for their store. And I said no. And the reason I said no is because I don't want to slow stitch quickly. Okay? I want my slow stitching to be slow on purpose. I don't want to feel like I have to fill orders or I have to get a store filled up with it. I can't feel that way. If I complete some and she wants them, then that's fine. But, oh, see, this is another paper I had from the school. This was the canary. Is this the canary one? Or golden? We had canary and we had goldenrod. We did not have yellow, okay? There was no yellow paper. It was canary or goldenrod paper. This one looks like the canary. The goldenrod, I think, was darker. One thing we had at the school, too, which I loved, and I've been looking for one on a smaller scale, is a commercial cutter. I wasn't looking for one because I didn't know that small commercial cutters existed, but a guy come up on Facebook Marketplace with one for $300. The problem is, first of all, it's its own big standing unit, and I don't have room, even in my shop, to put just a big device, you know, a big cutting device. But they sell tabletop ones on, I see them on eBay. So I need to research the, brands, because I'm not going to spend, you know, they're like $180, $190, and I'm not going to spend that kind of money on a cutter that isn't decent, you know. So, yeah, that's where I am on paper cutting. And the cutter we had at school, though, was huge. I mean, it was like, I don't know, it was probably like a 48-inch wide opening, and it cut comfortably 2 reams of paper, which is 1,000 sheets, which is a lot of paper, especially when you are researching paper cutters and companies are making 100 pages at a time look like a big deal, you know, cutting it, you know, oh, we cut 100 pages at a time. You're like, oh, big friggin' whoop, you know. But yeah, so 1,000 pages at a time is a big deal for a paper cutter. Yeah. But the paper cutter is going to benefit me greatly in cutting up National Geographics, because tearing them apart just does not work anymore. Just too time consuming, and it's time that I just do not have. So, you know, it takes me days. I go through a few days just pulling apart National Geographic books. You know, I mean, and I'll get a few hundred of them done, whereas I can get a few hundred of them done with a paper cutter in about, you know, a minute and a half. If it was a paper cutter that cut at least a ream, I would want probably at least a ream of paper. Alright, I'm going to leave this section alone because I don't need it. Just trying to really kind of center it the best I can, because like I said, you're not going to get this thing perfect unless you have it in a you know, tray that tells you the exact size and, you know, keeps you at one size maybe. But I just don't have that kind of technology. I don't have that type of tray technology. Alright. So yeah, I've been like talking a lot, sorry. Just haven't made any videos lately, so. I actually, believe it or not, I have another video to do of my Christmas journal. I didn't edit it yet. It's where I use the pages, I use some of the images from the 1950s book. And I didn't edit it because I felt like people are really burnt out on that. And I kind of ended it at New Year's and kind of, you know, did my flip through after the New Year and left it there. But if anybody wants to see another one, I'll edit that. I get 2 videos to splice together, so I'll put those together real quick and do a little voiceover and put it up. People are still feeling the Christmas spirit. It's so weird because it's like, you are so Christmas. You are so Christmas for, you know, a month and a half. Some people even 2 months. They're just so Christmas. And then it's over, and it's like Christmas never even existed. Just done. It just ended. Nobody's Christmas anymore. Nobody's in this. Nobody has the spirit anymore. It just ends. Like New Year's shows up, and it's just your entire thought process just shifts into something different. You know, but I guess another reason too why I've been having a hard time making videos is like, I did a lot of videos of firsts for Christmas time. I did a lot of you know, craft with me's and process videos and stuff, and I just don't have any ideas right now. I just don't have any processes right now. And you know, I worry that people get tired of the gluing, and I want to be able to attract a variety of people to my channel that enjoy a variety of art processes, and not just me slapping images in a composition book over and over. You know, I want to do different things. So I've been racking my brain trying to think of something for that. And I do have one big project in mind, but it's not like it's something that I'm going to be able to put out piece by piece. I'll have to do one video on this, and it's going to take me a while because it's going to be a big deal. You know what I mean? I have some journals started. Like, I have those retro journals. Maybe we can brainstorm some things together and work on those, because I got some really cool covers. I got some really cool book covers to use, you know. So maybe we'll work on those a little bit. And I don't know what other ideas that I had. I mean, I'm going to do some gluing too. I can't just not glue. That's who I am. But, you know, other things to do, other projects. You know, I could do painting papers and stuff, but you know, how many videos of that can you watch by me, I guess. I guess it's an identity. It's a video identity crisis. I just don't know. I just don't know what I'm going to do. But I wanted to do this, and I thought I would turn the camera on for it. And I have some stuff. I have an alphabet journal that I'm working on. I was going to do a flip through of it for the Flip Through Friday hashtag until I got to the 3rd page and realized that that was all I had done. Was up to like letter C or D was it. I was like, yeah, Flip Through Friday, ain't going to work on this one. So that's a lot of the fussy cutting I did is going to go into there. And I'm going to work on that. I might do some, I don't know what I'm thinking of doing. I mean, I have a bunch of ideas floating around in my head, but none of them are really coming to me right now. We'll do something. I'll figure something out. I've been on Pinterest lately, so Pinterest, sometimes it seems to really help my creativity, you know, sometimes, not always. Sometimes it is total opposite. And I've been finding recipes on Pinterest too for things to cook that are healthier for me. You know, I was gonna spend some time today prepping some food for this week, but I didn't. And I'm not gonna feel bad because it's Sunday. I don't have to. I don't have to do that stuff if I don't want to today. Let's put a strip of big. Oh, look at that weird shape. Put it here. Want to put it here?
Well, I suggest you stop yelling and screaming about it before I throw the thing right out.
You want to put it here. Yeah, man. Look at that weird. How about we encompass all of it and do it like this? Nah, that's too much. It's too much. Go here. Go here. Let's see. Maybe. I think it makes it too busy. I just need a strip there. Let's see if I can find another strip. I'm getting all these weird shapes now, and I'm not liking it. Not liking the weird. Here's a strip. Like this. I just like it because it kind of just covers up the busyness, and you know, I've been wanting to make some flow books too to get rid of some of my stash and to help you build your stash. So if I do make them, which I mean I'm going to because I have a ton of paper to use up and a ton of book covers that I can decorate and use up, I would like to know what kind of paper you would like to add to your stash. You know, is it images? Is it, you know, botanical? Is it collage? Different collage pages? Music pages? If there is something that you would like to see in a flow book, flow journal that I make, just let me know because I will totally do it. I will totally add whatever I got. And that's another reason why I'm doing some die cutting, is to incorporate that into my flow books. My supply flows. So we'll do some of that stuff together too. Some of the assembling of the pages, and we'll work on some of the covers. I have like this really major journal cover idea in my head. So maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll work on that together. And maybe I'll use some of... My phone died, and I'm almost done. And I realized that this video is like 3 days long. So let's go ahead and finish up the last little bit of this roll. And maybe we will work on it a little bit together again, and maybe we'll start pulling off of it. You know, like I said, I'm going to start another one. I'm going to start another one because I have so much paper to use, you know, to use up. Another reason why I want to do some flows is because I'm going to be moving into my building within a couple of months, and I'm going to want to get rid of some stuff to do that, you know. So yeah, if there is any kind of paper, scrapbook paper, whatever, that you would like to see in a flow, I got wallpaper, I got wrapping paper, I got craft paper, I got sketch paper on rolls. This is stuff on rolls. Yeah, I've got it all. So if there is something that you would like to build your stash with, or if there are things you would like to have in your stash, you know, a few pages of this and a few pages of that, foreign text or kids, you know, vintage children's reader pages or whatever, just let me know, because I'm sure I have got it, and I'm sure I can use it for whatever. Come on, come on, I know you're there. Let's put another one of my super cool envelope-y pieces. Let's see. We're at the end. We are at the end, ladies and gentlemen. You just sat here for 36 feet worth of touching up the backside of this junk roll. You're a bunch of troopers. You all get the award if you've stuck around this long. Which I have no clue. I have no clue if you did. And you could lie to me. Say you did. So I'll know if you stuck around to the end. If you comment on the bottom, I stuck around to the end. I'm going to see how many of you do it. I'm going to see how many of you stuck around to the end. So leave me a comment. Say, I was here. I was here till the end. I seen it all. I seen it all. And you know, because this is a nice way for me to talk to you and update you and get some ideas, you know, because I make these videos. First of all, I like to see and keep track of projects that I make, but I also make them too because I hope that maybe once in a while I can inspire you, you know. So if I help you and inspire you in any way, I'm so glad. I'm so glad to be able to do that. And I do think that a few of you who come to my channel often, I do think that I help. I do think I inspire you. I do think that you enjoy seeing what I create. And that makes me happy. That makes me happy that you're happy. I don't like this right here. What can I do? What can I put right there? Let's find something. Something. Let's see. What do I have? What do I have that's funky cool? Oh, I have a calendar, a John Deere calendar in here too. See what I mean? Like, this is my junk book, and this is my junk box. Some of the stuff in here is just, no, that's too, I already have green right there. Some of the stuff in here is just so junk. Oh, let's grab one of my weird shapes. Like, I know I have some squares. No, that's a weird shape. It's that weird shape. But I can't figure out a place to put it. Here's some rectangles. Put some rectangles in. Ooh, a little bitty. We'll put a pink rectangle right here, and then that'll kind of split all that ugly crap up. But I am so glad that you hung out and stuck around this whole time. Even if you didn't stick around the whole time. Glad you stuck around for part of it. And I'm sorry if this was like as boring as hell. But you stuck around. 36 feet. I am gonna... This one, I have a rubber band somewhere that I was putting around it. But this is going to be... I am going to call this one done. And I am honestly going to make another one. I'm not kidding. I'm making another one. So, stick around because we'll be doing stuff out of this. And I hope to see you soon. Ta-ta for now.